really sorry you had to see that. So anyway, in this video I'm going to be talking about the differences between turtles, tortoises and terrapins. Now this is a subject that has annoyed me for a long time because I've always had an idea of what turtles, terrapins and tortoises are. Everyone seems to have a different idea of what they are, what they stand for. Yeah, so we're going to be a little bit educational today. I found a great website that I use called Today I Found Out. So I'm going to be getting all of my information off of there. So first things first, turtles. Now, turtles have adapted to be very aquatic. They tend to live in the sea. I mean, the sea turtles are a very common one that we know about. If you've seen Finding Nemo, hey dude, is a sea turtle, and that's how you know. That is basically what a turtle is. It's got the flippers, the shell is very smooth and sort of flat, and yeah, they live in the sea. They only really come to land to lay their eggs. They do have some that are semi-aquatic, so some that do sun themselves on land or semi-live on land, but that's where terrapins also come in. And again, it will more depend on where you live, depending on what you say. Also, turtles aren't just herbivores. They tend to eat things like small fish, insects, and even jellyfish. Tortoise. Tortoises, on the other hand, are more land-dwelling animals. Instead of having flippers, they've got more padded, sort of like an elephant's foot, but a lot smaller. They tend to, obviously they live on the land, they've got a much more rounded and hard shell, stubby feet, and they really are not good swimmers. Really bad swimmers. If you put they drink water, they go into water to bathe and to drink, but if you put them in, if it's fast flowing water or deep water, they're going to sink like a stone. And unlike turtles, they tend to be they're primarily herbivores. They might eat a few insects and that, but they tend to eat things like grass, weeds, fruit, and basically any forms of vegetation that's low to the ground, because they can't, get very high. And obviously, lastly, but certainly not least, terrapins. Now, terrapins is sometimes used for turtles that are the semi-aquatic. So as I said earlier, there are some that are semi-aquatic. This is where the terrapins come in. And again, it all depends on where you live. They tend to live near the sort of brackish, swampy sort of waters, more fresh water. They're sort of a mix between a turtle and a tortoise. Whereas a turtle has a very flat shell and a tortoise has a very round shell, a terrapin is sort of in the middle. It's not quite flat, it's not quite round, it's sort of midway. It's they're a lot more colourful as well. Like on their skin, a lot of them sort of have sort of tortoises and turtles or one coloured face, whereas the terrapins will sort of have yellow markings or something that is quite distinctive. Also, going into other facts, did you know that tortoises went round the moon before man? Yeah, in Russia in 1968, they launched a probe that went round the moon for about 3 months before man went on the moon. So yeah, so that's quite interesting. A turtle shell is made up of around 50 to 60 bone covered in interlocking plates called scutes. I hope I said that right. And that forms the exoskeleton. And although a tortoise shell or a turtle shell is quite hard, it can be quite sensitive. They actually have a lot of nerve endings going into the shell, so they can feel. I mean, obviously, if it's a light touch, they're probably not going to, it's not going to be like you're tickling them. But yeah, if you put pressure on, they can feel that. And actually, if they crack it in any way, they can actually be in quite a bit of pain. And on the contrary to obviously some cartoons, turtles cannot, or tortoises, terrapins cannot leave their shell. That shell is their body. Whereas sometimes you'll see them, they'll take their shell off. No, they can't do that in real life. And also, my most favourite fact that I found out, whereas a tortoise can completely submerge itself in its shell, can completely go inside, same with terrapins, a turtle can't. Their head is constantly on show. So whereas if a tortoise feels threatened, it will go in its shell, and it will usually smack its body on the ground as well, which I found out from my tortoise when I decided to sort of. He is quite young. He's only a couple of months old. I went to sort of tickle under the chin, because apparently tortoises love being tickled under the chin, and he sort of went. I obviously scared him. Oh, camera went a bit fuzzy there, but yeah, he obviously scared him, and he went. So yeah, and trust me, tortoises can nearly drown because mine somehow managed to the other day while my sister was bathing him. He somehow went into a shell and nearly drowned. He's okay. No animals were harmed in the making of this movie. So yeah, he was fine. And last one, which I find this one quite good. So for sea turtles, a lot of people say that they see them crying. And it's actually a very clever mechanism that they do to expel all the salt, obviously, because from their body, because they obviously get a lot of salt, surrounded by salt water, and it's their way of releasing the salt from their body. So very, very interesting. And I will say I'm so glad that I researched this, because it's something that's been bugging me for a long time, what the difference between turtle, tortoise and terrapin is. And I know that a lot of other people out there tend to get it wrong. But like I said, it is always, depends on where you are. Depends on where you are in the world. I know that in Australia, you've got the sea turtles, but everything else is classed as a tortoise. Or so the internet has told me. But whereas in America, it could be different, and the UK. So don't start commenting saying you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. No, it just depends. Those are the sort of the characteristics that most tortoises, turtles and terrapins, you know, terrapin is just the cross between the two, where it's semi-aquatic, whereas a tortoise is no, completely on land. Turtle, that's it in, you know, turtle is aquatic. That's basically it. That's it in a nutshell. Or a tortoise shell. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. It's a bit educational. Obviously, I've got to sort of address that I haven't done a video since really early last year. I just really got swamped with work and everything, so I've just been completely out of it. YouTube had to kind of go on hold. So I started it, really excited, and a guy from my old job, Adil, really wanted me to do the video. So Adil, this video goes out to you. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys soon. Stay safe.
Whoa, hello everyone, don't forget to subscribe.